I've been on a Finch kick, and it's one of those bands. It's like almost like a glassjaw, where it's like we wish we got more out of them. And of course, glassjaw came back with the
Material Control.
Material Control, yeah. So we got stuff from them, and we did get stuff from Finch, right? Back to Oblivion came out in 2014. But man, I would love to see them come back, reunite, do a tour, do an album. And if it was closer to What It Is to Burn, or what was the one after that? Say Hello to Sunshine. That was a little more chaotic.
Say Hello to Sunshine. Yep.
Something, honestly, if it pulled from every one of their releases, I would be so happy. And I think there's a big demand for this for them. I've seen more about them online like lately than I think I've ever have. And nostalgia's in. We keep saying that. Like, they would crush if they reignited that flame.
Totally. And like, there was was it a 10-year anniversary that they did for What It Is to Burn, where they did a run of shows and they pressed it to like vinyl, and it's digital. You can find the live version of it digitally. I feel like it's the 10-year, which would be what, 2012?
Yep.
So that's 10 years now. It's 20 now. So holy shit, like, yeah, I'd be all in on them figuring out the old Finch, the early Finch sound again, like that. I fucking wore out What It Is to Burn. I bought that on CD the day it came out. I put it in my headphones, and I would like walk around school and just listen to it. Fuck, man, that's my fondest memory of just that CD went from my CD player to my car CD player back to my CD player. It didn't like leave my side for a month. I listened to it all the fucking time. So yeah, I'm down. I'm ready. Let's get those guys back together. Let's do something big.
Yeah, you're dating us again. So basically, you were in study hall. You had it in the Discman. Went to the CD deck in the car that you installed yourself. I
didn't install it myself. My buddy Adam did. Different Adam, who I used to work with at the shoe store that I worked at. I gave him $20 and he put it in for me. It was awesome.
He did mine too, via your recommendation. Yeah. Well, they're playing When We Were Young 2023. They were announced. They're on that lineup. So they get that there's demand.
Yeah. Let's go.
Nate, are you in on this? Where are you at with
Finch? Yeah. Well, here's something that's interesting. I didn't know who this band was, similar to many bands that you bring to the table on the podcast. Circa 2002, but you said check out this band. I think you passed me the CD probably in a study hall. And I checked it out, and yeah, I was hooked instantly. First, like getting the stamp of approval from another nerd is always, a step in the right direction. But, giving it your own ears is definitely a testament. So yeah, from the get-go, 2002, I didn't scout the band out myself, but I was hooked. And I remember thinking this is a front-to-back record. I remember thinking What It Is to Burn is like the Blue Album from Weezer. It's like flows perfectly. Every song's great. Every song's a sing-along. The production's amazing. The artwork's amazing. Had they followed that kind of, I don't know, crescendo of storytelling, they'd probably still be around to this day. But, kind of like the J5 talk. Was that an era? Was that like Nate, the singer, he's super young.
Drive-throughs in its prime. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, drive-throughs in its prime. I mean, that was like the hype back then. I mean, we were a part of it because we were that age group. So it makes perfect sense. We were like the perfect consumer for that. But it was honest, and that's why I loved it. And it's why we still love it today, because it wasn't forced. And I think that's why there might be hesitation from these bands, is the hesitation the fact that it would be forced, because it's not a true representation of what the band is, given how old they are. I mean, could we put out albums today talking about that subject matter today and be honest about it? Not really, but you could probably, change it to focus in on, today.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Nate, because you're right. That stuff all is of a time and a place, and not just the, being on drive-through, it's 2002 or whatever. The lyrical content of that music, the angst that goes with that music is of an age. Like it hit us because we were 16, 17 years old. And it worked for them because they were 21, 22 and probably wrote it when they were 16, 17 years old. So trying to do that when you're 45, right. Your world has changed probably 15 times in the time frame since that came out and today. You've had to roll with life's punches, as we all do. Not everybody can continue to turn that into music or art. And that's tough. And that's why anybody that lasts, any longer than 5 or 10 years and continues to do what they do there's a testament to those folks, because you've got to change what you do. You can't just be the same thing over and over and over again, because it does fall flat as you age, or as no one's they're not writing "Stay with Me" at 50. You know what I mean? It doesn't fit the same. Not that it would be bad at 50. It just doesn't fit the same.
One last little story. This will take 30 seconds to close this out. First time I ever heard Finch, Warped Tour 2001 up in Montreal. I get handed a sampler, and it's a compilation. It's in one of those cardboard sleeves. The name of the sampler, I shit you not, I still have it. It's called After Stool Special. And the Finch track, I think Awake was on it. You have to fact check me. We'll probably pull it up, but Awake. So that was before the album came out. And then I think I got the EP, and the rest is history.
After Stool Special, come on.
Nonpoint was on it too. I think, What a Day, maybe?
Time frame makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Statement would have been right around then.
Yeah. Good stuff.
That's memory lane, baby. Here we are.